A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay, and Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair bring you Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden. It's time once again for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks under the direction of Al Lewis. Well, most of us have already made our plans for celebrating Thanksgiving. But our Miss Brooks, who teaches English at Madison High School, hadn't given it much thought up until last Friday morning when she sat down to breakfast with her landlady.
Well, it's only 6 more days till Thanksgiving, Mrs. Davis.
I can hardly believe it, Connie. A whole year has gone by since last Thanksgiving.
Isn't it awful? The years do that every year.
It seems like yesterday that I was preparing our last Thanksgiving dinner. We didn't have very much money to spend on our shopping, but we celebrated just the same.
Oh, I'll never forget that meal, Mrs. Davis. A whole roast stuffed pepper.
I feel very badly about not being able to spend Thanksgiving with you this year, Connie, but I've accepted an invitation from my sister Angela.
Oh, that's all right, Mrs. Davis.
I'd ask you to join me at her place, but she hasn't been at all well lately. So we're just having the immediate family, my brother Victor and myself. Oh, poor Angela. It seems the older she gets, the more absent-minded she gets.
Yes, you've mentioned it to me, Mrs. Davis.
Lately, she's been worse than ever. Why, sometimes she can be talking right along and suddenly, right in the middle of a sentence...
Yes? Right in the middle of a sentence?
Right in the middle of a sentence.
Right in the middle of a sentence what?
Right in the middle of a sentence what?
You've been seeing a little too much of Angela.
Angela?
She's your brother Victor's absent-minded sister. But don't worry about my holiday, Mrs. Davis. I'll get my pearly teeth into something on Thanksgiving Day.
How about Mr. Boynton?
Yum, yum. You mean spending the day with him? Well, he hasn't asked me as yet, but I'll toss him a hint at school today.
I'm certain that he'll invite you out, Connie, and then you can be sure of your turkey and all the trimmings.
I don't know about the turkey, but if Mr. Boynton and I eat out, I'm a cinch to take my usual trimming.
Does Mr. Boynton always insist on going Dutch, Connie?
I wouldn't say that, Mrs. Davis. It's just a coincidence that I'm buying him a pair of wooden shoes for Christmas. Oh, but why worry about it now? As Madison star athlete Stretch Snodgrass told me in English class the other day, live good in the present, the future never done nothing to nobody. Stretch is a nice kid, though. He seemed genuinely concerned about my spending Thanksgiving alone. He told me he would have asked me to his home, but his folks are going out of town for the weekend with the Dentons. Oh, that must be Walter now. He's driving me down to school. Coming, Walter.
I'll clear off the table and get started on the dishes, Connie. Say hello to Walter for me.
All right, Mrs. Davis. Come on in, Walter.
I step over this threshold with fear and trepidation.
What do you mean?
I am the editor-in-chief of the Madison Monitor. True?
True.
Well, I made the mistake of letting Stretch Snodgrass set up some of the type yesterday. And he sneaked an item into the personal column that cannot but be a source of great mortification to someone very near and dear to both our hearts.
Who?
You.
Me?
None other. I brought a copy with me. Look at this paragraph, Miss Brooks.
Let's see it. To who it may concern. That's Stretch, all right. It says, it is pitiful to be alone on Thanksgiving Day. If there is one way how people should show their real Thanksgivingness, it is by sharing their dinner with some poor, unfortunate fellow human person who is alone. Without mentioning any names. Oh, well, that's a relief.
Keep reading.
Without mentioning any names, if somebody wants to share his or her meal with this lonely human person, all you have to do is walk up and say, "You can have Thanksgiving dinner with me, Miss Brooks."
Well, Miss Brooks, isn't that awful? Are you going to punish Stretch?
I'm not making any snap judgments, Walter. First, let's see if this ad brings any results.
Excuse me, Miss Brooks, but I'd like to talk to you before you go into your classroom.
I think that might be arranged, Mr. Boynton.
I just read this rather peculiar notice in the school paper, and I wondered...
Oh, that's a little prank that Stretch played on me, Mr. Boynton. Just pay a lot of attention to it.
When I read it, Miss Brooks, I made up my mind I'd be the first one to talk to you about it.
Really? How nice, Mr. Boynton.
Oh, it isn't easy to be alone on Thanksgiving, on a holiday.
No, you're so right.
Many's the Thanksgiving dinner I've eaten alone. But when I saw that notice in the paper, I said to myself, by George Philip Boynton...
I didn't know your name was George Philip Boynton.
It is, and that's just an expression I use. As I was saying, I said to myself, this is one Thanksgiving you don't have to eat alone. Now, what I want to ask you isn't easy for me, Miss Brooks.
Maybe I can help. I promise not to order anything over $1.50. Please continue.
Since I saw that paragraph in the Monitor, I wondered if...
I'll make it $1 even, and I'll leave the tip. Please, Mr. Boynton, just ask me what you want to.
All right, I will.
Good.
Miss Brooks, if that notice brings you more than one invitation to dinner, could I make use of the extra one?
You wanted to see me, Mr. Conklin?
Yes, Miss Brooks. Sit down, won't you, please? Take this leather chair by my desk. That's it. Are you nice and comfy?
Yes, sir. I'm fine, but how are you?
Splendid, thanks. This is the time of year when we should all be imbued with the true Thanksgiving spirit. That's why I've summoned you to my office, Miss Brooks, to tell you that in spite of the inconveniences you have wreaked upon me, I harbor no ill will.
Well, that's very nice to hear, Mr. Conklin. I have been the source of annoyance to you on occasion, I suppose, that I
am thankful for everything that's happened to me in the past year. Take the time you dropped that typewriter on my toe. I just give thanks that it didn't land higher and fracture my whole foot.
That was careful of me, wasn't it?
Then when I think back to the time you stepped on my eyeglasses and crushed them, I give thanks that they weren't on my nose at the time. But my main purpose in calling you here is to inform you that I have read the notice in this morning's Monitor.
Oh, that's just a joke, Mr. Conklin. It was written by one of the pupils in my English class.
Yes, I could tell from its construction. However, I want you to know, Miss Brooks, that I was quite touched by that item. The more so since I, too, will be all alone this Thanksgiving.
But what about your daughter and Mrs. Conklin?
They're spending the day with Harriet's grandmother, my wife's dear mother. We asked her to join us for the holiday, but she lives almost 100 miles away, and she thinks she's got high blood pressure or something. So nothing would do but that Harriet and Martha visit her. Bless her crotchety old hide.
But why aren't you going along?
What? Me make a trip like that with my blood pressure? The doctor has absolutely forbidden it. In any event, when I read that notice, Miss Brooks, a thought occurred to me which might make Thanksgiving more enjoyable for both of us.
Both of us?
Yes. Since we're both going to be alone, I'd like to ask you... that is, I wonder if you'd... what I have to say isn't easy for me, Miss Brooks.
Maybe I can help. I promise not to order anything over $1.50.
Loneliness can do more to undermine a person's morale than almost anything. And, well, if you'd... that is, if possible...
I'll make it $1 and I'll leave the tip.
please don't misunderstand, Miss Brooks. What I want to ask you is, well, if that notice brings you more than one invitation, could I make use of the extra one?
Why should you be an exception? Oh, of course, Mr. Conklin. Now, if you'll excuse me, sir, I've got to get to my classroom.
Very well, you may go. Be sure and keep me apprised of all results, Miss Brooks.
Yes, sir. I'm sure we'll be pelted with turkey dinners. Spirit of Thanksgiving. Are you comfy, Miss Brooks? Take this chair, Miss Brooks. Of all the...
Hi, Miss Brooks. I see that you just came out of Daddy's office. Is he very disgruntled this morning?
No, Harriet, he's not gruntling any louder than usual. He does seem a bit put out at having to eat Thanksgiving dinner alone.
Oh, but he's not going to. Grandmother's coming down to our place after all. We're going to surprise Daddy.
Oh, that should do it.
He's so sentimental about holidays. Now he'll be able to do his Thanksgiving carving just like always. It'll be loads of fun. I've already invited Walter Denton over.
Good. I can't think of anyone your father would rather carve.
I know he's not crazy about Walter, but during the holiday season, Daddy's always a little more mellow. I'm going to do some of the shopping today. Mother gave me $5 for a turkey.
That doesn't seem like much, Harriet. How big a turkey are you planning on getting?
Oh, just a nice 8-pounder.
But will that be enough to go around? Mr. Boynton's a pretty big eater, you know.
Mr. Boynton? But he'll be eating with you, won't he?
He certainly will. And at what better place could he join me for Thanksgiving dinner than in the warm confines of your cozy dining room?
Well, I would like to invite you both, Miss Brooks, but I've only got this $5. That's all Mother said to spend.
Tell you what, Harriet, give me the $5 and I'll see that we get a big enough turkey for all of us.
Well, if you really want to come, Miss Brooks, I'd certainly like to have you, and I'm sure Mother would, too. But there have been times when you and Daddy...
Don't you see, Harriet, if Walter's coming, you'll be doing your daddy a good turn by inviting me.
Why, how do you mean, Miss Brooks?
With both of us there, we'll be an antidote for each other.
Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate Dental Cream. It cleans your breath.
Water toothpaste.
Water cleans your teeth.
Colgate toothpaste.
Cleans your breath.
Water toothpaste.
Water cleans your teeth.
Colgate Dental Cream cleans your breath while it cleans your teeth. And the Colgate way stops tooth decay best. More than 2 years' research showed the Colgate way of brushing teeth right after eating helps stop more decay for more people than ever before reported in dentifrice history. Yes, the Colgate way stops tooth decay best. Better than any other home method of oral hygiene.
No other dentifrice, ammoniated or not, has proof of such results. And you should know that Colgate's, while not mentioned by name, was the one and only toothpaste used in the research on tooth decay recently reported in Reader's Digest.
So always follow the Colgate way to clean your breath while you clean your teeth. And stop tooth decay best.
Brush your teeth with Colgate. Colgate Dental Cream. It cleans your breath.
Water toothpaste.
Water cleans your teeth.
And the Colgate way stops tooth decay best.
Well, when lunch period arrived, as luck and I would have it, Mr. Boynton brought his tray right to my table in the cafeteria. In spite of the fact that he had a nice lunch before him, he didn't begin eating, but sat with his fork poised and stared into my eyes with a deep and absorbing emotion. It was a terribly romantic moment, as Mr. Boynton leaned across the table and in a voice choked with passion said,
Get any extra invites to Thanksgiving dinner?
No, and get your fork out of my cottage cheese.
Sorry. I was just wondering about that notice in the monitor.
Well, you can forget about the notice, Mr. Boynton. I've wangled us both an invitation to join the Conklins for the holiday.
Oh, say, that's wonderful. Mrs. Conklin's a fine cook.
There's only one catch. We've got exactly $5 with which to buy a turkey that'll feed 6 people.
Well, how in the world are we going to do that, Miss Brooks?
You and I can chip in another $5 between us.
There must be some other way.
Well, there isn't. Not unless I put up the entire amount, and I can't unless I pawn my earrings again.
Oh, but Miss Brooks...
I wouldn't care if I hadn't had my ears pierced. You have no idea how drafty my lobes get in November.
Wait, Miss Brooks. You won't have to pawn anything. There is a way we can get a good-sized young turkey very reasonably.
How?
By merely eliminating the butcher.
What do we do, buy the turkey from his parents?
Don't you see, Miss Brooks, we have to go after a live turkey. Well, they're much cheaper than in the stores. Why, we can probably pick one up for even less than $5.
Well, there's nothing to it. Of course not. All we have to do is find a young turkey who hasn't learned the value of money.
Once we get a good one, we can kill it ourselves, pluck the feathers, clean it, and dress it.
There must be some other way.
Believe me, this will work, Miss Brooks. I know a place about 20 miles from here. A fellow named Tobin has a turkey farm. We'll drive out after school and see what he's got.
Say, it might be fun at that. A nice drive in the country.
Well, sure. The fresh air will be good for all of us.
All of us?
You, me, and my pet frog, McDougal. Well, he hasn't been at all well lately, Miss Brooks.
What's the trouble?
He can't seem to sleep.
Maybe he reads too late. I mean, where's he been sleeping?
Oh, his usual place, on a newspaper in his cage.
Well, there's your answer. How can anybody sleep with the news that's in the paper nowadays?
Well, old Tobin certainly gave us a nice gobbler for $5.
Yes, he did, but I still can't get too enthusiastic about having to execute it ourselves.
Oh, you just feel that way because she's a hen turkey. Tobin seemed quite attached to her, too. What was it he called her again?
Bernice. Oh, isn't that cute? She knows her name.
Oh, that's nothing. Mac knows his name, too.
Your frog?
Of course. His cage is right beside you on the seat. Just pick it up and call to him.
Oh, that's ridiculous, Mr. Boynton. I'm not going to start any conversations with McDougal.
That it?
Well, if you don't mind, I'm putting him in the back with Bernice. There you go, Mac. You can keep each other company back there.
Oh, poor Mac. He's been so apathetic from lack of sleep. He probably won't even notice Bernice.
From the saying, like father, like frog. Bernice is very interested in Mac. Oh, isn't that cute? She's got her head right next to his cage.
What in the world is Mac doing?
You have just heard the frog's version of a wolf whistle.
That's one for the book. Mac is definitely smitten by that hen turkey. Say, what's going on in the back seat now, Miss Brooks?
Something that should be going on in the front seat. They're getting better acquainted. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if he's asking her out to a dance.
That'd be quite a sight. Oh, actually, Bernice is much too tall for Mac.
Oh, I don't know. She's a natural for a barn dance. Do-si-do, now I ain't bluffing. Dance too hard and you'll lose your stuffing. Oh, calm down, Bernice. I was just kidding.
Now that we've got her, Miss Brooks, where are we supposed to take the turkey?
To the Conklin's backyard. Mr. and Mrs. Conklin are attending a tea party, so it won't spoil Mr. Conklin's surprise.
Will Harriet be there to give us a hand?
Uh-huh, and so will Walter. He's bringing his AXE. How do you like that? She can spell, too.
Careful with his crate, Walter. There's a slat loose on the side.
Yeah, I got it, Mr. Boynton. Now let's set it down in the driveway.
Oh, what a wonderful turkey.
Sorry, Mac. You'll have to wait in the car.
He's a beauty, all right. Absolutely inspiring. Oh, what a perfect combination. The lovely, graceful neck of a turkey and my trusty Boy Scout hatchet.
What a charming thought. You've been seeing too many kid shows on television. But if it has to be done, the quicker the better.
Right you are, Miss Brooks. Want a blindfold turkey?
No, but I do.
Look out, she's getting away.
Grab her wings, Walter. She's heading for the house.
Oh, I missed her. Oh, Miss Brooks, do something.
Don't look at me. I'm on her side.
She's going through the dining room window.
Now, what made her do that?
Maybe she wants to try on one of the platters for size.
We've got to get her out of there before Daddy comes home. We want this to be a surprise. Come on in the side door.
Where could she have gone?
She doesn't seem to be in the dining room anymore.
Maybe she went into Daddy's study.
You look in there, Harriet, and Walter, you try the kitchen.
But where are you going to look?
I'll take the closet with Mr. Boynton. You kids go ahead.
But, Miss Brooks, you don't think the turkey really went into the closet, do you?
Who knows? It shouldn't take us more than 20 minutes to find out.
I think the turkey's definitely in this study somewhere. Take a look behind the couch, Walter.
Okay, Harriet. I'll sneak up on the little beauty with the stealth of a barefoot pilgrim.
That might be Daddy. He always forgets his key. Walter, you stay put behind that couch. Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton, follow me.
Where are you going to hide us?
In this clothes closet right across the hall. Quick, Miss Brooks, get in.
Okay.
Be right there. Hello, Daddy.
Forgot my key again, Harriet.
Where's Mother?
She's doing some shopping for tonight.
For dinner?
Oh, don't mention that word. I ate so much at that confounded tea party that I can hardly breathe. I'm going into my study and lie down on the couch for a while.
Oh, but you can't. I mean, you know what nightmares you get when you go to sleep after eating. Remember the time you thought there were bats in your bedroom?
That was after I saw Lost Weekend. Now, don't fuss around me, child. I can hardly keep my eyes open.
But, Daddy, wouldn't the bedroom be more comfortable?
I'd never make it up the stairs, Harriet. Just call me in an hour or so, please.
Oh, dear. Miss Brooks, Mr. Boynton, come out of the closet.
Go away.
Did I hear your father say he was going to take a nap in the study, Harriet?
That's right, Mr. Boynton. And I'm almost positive the turkey's in there.
Well, we can't be sure. I'm going to look around the back of the house.
Okay, Mr. Boynton. Miss Brooks, let's tiptoe up to the study door and listen. He's asleep already, thank goodness.
Well, let's open the door then. Take another peek.
Look, Miss Brooks. The turkey just came out of that closet. She's walking toward the couch.
Now he's starting to wake up.
Daddy's looking at the turkey.
Now the turkey's looking at Daddy. I wonder which one will scream first.
What's that? Oh, it's a nightmare. Oh, I should never have tried to sleep after all that food. Look, turkey. Nice turkey. I know you're not there. But please go away.
You stay here, Harriet. I've got an idea. Mr. Conklin. Hello, Mr. Conklin.
What? Miss Brooks, is that you? Are you really here?
What's the difference as long as it's a nightmare? I heard you moaning in your sleep, sir, and I thought maybe...
Never mind what you thought. Get this turkey out of my study.
What turkey?
What turkey? What was that?
Maybe your dream turkey has an allergy.
The turkey just walked out the door. That sneeze came from behind the couch.
It's just me, Mr. Conklin. Me and my trusty hatchet.
Oh, God! Dream or no dream, boy, there's no reason to go berserk. We've had our differences, surely. But deep down in my heart, I've always had a warm spot for you.
Please, Mr. Conklin, don't get hysterical. Why don't you lie down and close your eyes?
How can I close my eyes with Walter standing over me with a hatchet?
Walter? Walter who?
If I don't call my doctor when I wake up, I'll never go to sleep again. Oh, well, I might as well relax.
That's the idea, Mr. Conklin. Take a nice, long snooze.
Miss Brooks, Bernice just ran out in the backyard and... Oh, I beg your pardon, Mr. Conklin. I didn't mean to disturb you.
Oh, that's all right, Boynton. You'll disappear in a few minutes.
Disappear?
Mr. Conklin's been dreaming, and let's keep it that way.
It's all right, Miss Brooks. The turkey ran right into our garage, and I closed the door.
What's going on here?
We just wanted to surprise you, sir.
May I say, you have?
Please don't be angry, Daddy. Miss Brooks saved us a lot of money by getting a live turkey. I only gave her $5.
$5?
Yes, sir. You see, you're not going to be alone after all. That was the surprise Harriet planned. Not only is your mother-in-law coming down for Thanksgiving, but we're all joining you, too.
And now I have a dispatch for you. After the tea, I saw my doctor, and he put me on a strict vegetarian diet. Harriet and her mother are going to spend the holidays with Granny as planned. As for you, Miss Brooks, kindly hand over the $5 my daughter gave you.
But we paid that for the turkey.
You can have the turkey. All I want is my money.
But we can't get a refund now. The used turkey market is shot to pieces. What will Mr. Boynton and I do with an entire turkey?
That, Miss Brooks, is your concern. For once, I might add, the joke is on you.
Well, I've celebrated some Thanksgivings in my time, but this is the biggest bird I ever received.
Eve Arden returns in just a moment, but first...
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl.
Tonight? Yes, tonight. Show him how much lovelier your hair can look after a Luster Cream shampoo. Luster Cream, world's finest shampoo. No other shampoo in the world gives you Kay Daumit's magic blend of secret ingredients plus gentle lanolin. Better than a soap, better than a liquid. Luster Cream is a dainty cream shampoo. Leaves hair 3 ways lovelier. Fragrantly clean, free of loose dandruff, glistening with sheen. Soft, manageable. Even in hardest water, Luster Cream lathers instantly. So gentle, Luster Cream is wonderful even for children's hair. Tonight? Yes, tonight, try Luster Cream shampoo.
Dream girl, beautiful luster cream girl. You owe your crowning glory to a luster cream shampoo.
And now, once again, here is Eve Arden.
70 little children in one classroom. That's the kind of critical situation your community faces, unless it can recruit new elementary school teachers immediately. Our increased school population also needs urgently more buildings, more textbooks, more supplies than ever. Better schools make better communities. So for improved educational facilities, join and work with your local civic groups and school boards. For further information, write to the National Citizens Commission for the Public Schools, 2 West 45th Street, New York, 19, New York. Good night.
This is Vern Smith reminding you to tune in next week to another Our Miss Brooks show, brought to you by Luster Cream Shampoo for soft, glamorous, caressable hair, and Colgate Dental Cream to clean your breath while you clean your teeth and help stop tooth decay. Our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, is produced by Larry Burns, written by Al Lewis, with the music of Wilbur Hatch. Mr. Boynton is played by Jeff Chandler, and Mr. Conklin by Gail Gordon. Others in tonight's cast were Jane Morgan, Dick Crenna, and Gloria Macmillan.
Doctors prove Palmolive soap can bring you a lovelier complexion in 14 days. Yes, 36 leading skin specialists proved in tests on 1,285 different women that Palmolive soap facials using nothing but Palmolive brought new complexion beauty to 2 women out of 3. Just wash your face 3 times daily with Palmolive soap. Each time for 60 seconds, massaging Palmolive's beauty lather onto your skin. Then rinse and pat dry. So start your Palmolive facials today. Remember, doctors prove Palmolive soap can bring you a lovelier complexion in 14 days.
If you like mysteries that are as full of chuckles as chills, be sure to hear Mr. and Mrs. North every Tuesday over this same network. Don't miss the exciting and laughable adventures of these amateur detectives. Hear Mr. and Mrs. North every Tuesday night. And be with us again next week at this same time for another comedy episode of Our Miss Brooks. Bob Lamont speaking. Stay tuned now for Jack Bennett. CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Make no mistake, of all leading cigarettes, one and only one is recognized by eminent nose and throat specialists as definitely less irritating. That one cigarette is Philip Morris. Johnny presents the Milton Berle Show. Here comes Johnny, ladies and gentlemen, to remind you, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris. Yes, they'd all. From Radio City in New York, here is the Milton Berle Show. With Bert Pelton, Jack Albertson, Mary Schiff, Johnny Gibson, Billy Sands, Frank Milano, our singing star Dick Carney, the music of Ray Block and his orchestra, and yours truly, Frank Young. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Thanksgiving week when we give thanks for so many wonderful things. That's right. You will now hear Milton Berle for half an hour. Let us give thanks that is not a whole hour. And here he is, Milton Berle. Very good build-up again. Thank you. And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Gallup, what a week this has been. There hasn't been so much excitement since the day they picked up my option, dropped it, picked it up, dropped it, picked it up. I'm the only actor who has a contract written on a yo-yo. Contract written on a yo-yo. That was nothing. What a week. What a week this has been. First there was the royal wedding of Elizabeth and Philip, and what a wedding cake they had. 20 feet high, and standing on top of the cake, they didn't have the ordinary little wax figures of a bride and groom. They had the real thing, Tex and Jinx. Bob Hope, he was in England. How do you like that? They asked us for gold, and all we can give them is hope. They asked us for gold. Look, I don't mind if you don't laugh, but don't hit the S's. They had nothing to do with the script. Honest. Berle, will you cease this inane chattering and get on with our Thanksgiving program? You're right, Mr. Gallup. This is Thanksgiving week when we should all count our blessings. What have you to be thankful for this year, Mr. Gallup? Nothing. Nothing? Why, that was nothing. You have loads of things to be thankful for. First, you should be thankful that you're alive. No, let's start with something we're sure of. I'm gaming on you. You should be thankful, Mr. Gallup, that this year you became associated with Milton Berle on a big program. Thankful? Yes. Did you say thankful? Well, yes, Mr. Gallup. Should I be thankful that since I've come on this program, I've been ostracized by my former friends in the musical world? But, Mr. Gallup... I, the only man Jose Iturbe ever trusted to adjust his piano stool. Well, I know. I, who used to go on drinking parties with the Budapest String Quartet whenever they needed a fifth. Mr. Gallup, you mean all that is gone? Gone. Thanks to my association with you. Today, every time I pass Carnegie Hall, music lovers yell, "There goes Frankie the Fink."
Oh, that's terrible. But after all, Mr. Gallup, being on this program has given you new interest. You've learned a lot from me.
Yes. From you, Bill, I've learned to read a racing form while chalking a cue stick in a pool room.
Look, Mr. Gallup.
I've learned the correct procedure of blowing on the dice in order to make a 9 the hard way.
Mr. Gallup! I didn't realize what this life was doing to you. Honestly, I'd hate to see you go, but you're right. Give up this program before it's too late. Go back to your old friends, Deems Taylor, Yasha Heifetz, Leopold Stokowski.
Those squares.
Mr. Gallup! Gee, I'm touched. You're willing to give up your musical reputation just to stay on this program with me?
Bill, let me confess.
What?
I have at last found here on this program with you the one thing I've been seeking all my life.
What is that?
An easy buck.
Well, that makes two of us. So before somebody gets wise, let's get on with the program as we salute Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, gem of the autumn season. Autumn when the frost is on the pumpkin. Pumpkin, very symbol of Halloween. Halloween, happy holiday before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, gem of the autumn season. That year went fast, didn't it? Want to go round again? Thanksgiving, gem. Gem of Burl. I'm giving you new lines.
Will you please stick to the subject of Thanksgiving?
But, Mr. Gallup, I was carried away.
But not far enough.
Oh, that was jazz. Gee, Mr. Gallup, you're getting to be a regular Tony One. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to help you with your Thanksgiving problem.
Bill, many people have their Thanksgiving dinners in restaurants. Now, just keep in mind that when you order, do it in a cultured, well-modulated voice.
That's what I should do? Mr. Gallup, you don't understand. I eat at Lindy's, and if I show up there with a cultured, well-modulated voice, you'll get thrown out. They'll think you're a spy from Schwab.
I've seen you order, Bill.
Have you?
And ladies and gentlemen, as a horrible example, and to show you how not to order your Thanksgiving dinner, here is Milton Berle ordering in a restaurant.
Waiter. Okay. What'll it be, the Thanksgiving turkey dinner? No. It's too big. Let me see. Oh, here's something on the menu. Don't move, I'll kill it. No, I mean this dish. The breaded fish. Don't get it. No, wait. Maybe the chicken in the pot. Chicken in the pot. No, my sleeves always get soggy. I know, I'll have the baked mackerel. Baked mackerel? Oh, wait, waiter, I had fish yesterday. Mister, please, it's getting late, and I still got 6 tables to insult. See, funny, somehow I don't feel hungry anymore. Wait, I'll take off my apron. We'll go outside and play leapfrog. You should work up an appetite. Very comical. Look, it's Thanksgiving. I'll have the turkey dinner. I'd like to be patriotic. Goody, I'll call Lucy Monroe. You didn't mention rutabaga, did you? You haven't any rutabaga? You know, waiter, suddenly I got a yen for rutabaga. You know, mister, suddenly I got a yen to be dancing on the French Riviera with Hedy Lamarr. But that's right. No Hedy Lamarr, no rutabaga. What do you want? Okay, I'll take the tomatoes. Tomatoes, stewed, but not too stewed. I'll bring the oil. Oh, wait, I guess I should have some potatoes. You should have poison. Now, look, wise guy, I didn't come in here to be insulted. You didn't come in here to eat either. Okay, just bring my order. I'll do that for you. Good. Now, you do something for me? What? Drop dead.
Mr. Gallup, Thanksgiving has its romantic side, too. Can any man forget how important Thanksgiving was? When you took that one and only girl to the Persian room where that Frenchman, Jean Sablon, used to sing in Armenian. He used to sing... And all you I love you. Just don't play with your knuckles, kid. Ah, Cynthia. Golden memories of Thanksgiving dinner with Cynthia. Yes, hands across the table. Cynthia, your hands were always across the table, eating off somebody else's plate. Remember, Cynthia, that night I took you to Thanksgiving dinner at the swanky El Morocco? Lovely, Cynthia. Even in those days, you had the new look. You used to sell them from your newsstand. Too bad you had no life. Too bad you had no life. I'll give you time. Smart. My writer should be doing it. Smart, sophisticated Cynthia. No one could wear a large diamond the way you did. Fit right in the hole in your head. Oh, that's a good one, isn't it? Remember when we sat down and I reached over to take the fur off your neck, how you screamed? I didn't know it was growing there. Ah, Cynthia, you were in high society. You came from the smart horsey set, especially your teeth. They were the horsiest set I've ever seen. I'm only kidding. Your teeth were pearls. And the next time you see Pearl, give them back to her. And they say, in the little way, that you belong to me.
Memphis, Tennessee, Buffalo, New York, Denver, Colorado, Portland, Oregon. Yes, from all over the country there's news, big news. Listen, from section after section, eminent nose and throat specialists report that in cases of irritation due to smoking, they suggest change to Philip Morris.
Yes, these top-ranking nose and throat specialists actually suggest Philip Morris because they know Philip Morris is the one, the only leading cigarette proved definitely less irritating.
Remember, the cigarette that gives you the least irritation is the cigarette that gives you the most enjoyment. After all, it's pleasure, deep, rich pleasure that counts in smoking. And the full measure of smoking pleasure is yours to enjoy day in, day out in Philip Morris. That's why we say, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette.
Wonderful. It was nice. There was Curtain in the Store, played by Ray Block, the Silver Morris Orchestra, and Ray, I will repeat, as Burl usually does, that was wonderful. There's only one thing that keeps your orchestra from really being great. You. Good old Ray. Every week I kid around and make insulting cracks about the music. Well, tonight, Ray, I'm not kidding. And now, as we continue our salute to Thanksgiving, we present Thanksgiving Forum tonight. Thanksgiving Forum tonight. The question, which has been in more turkeys, oyster dressing or Milton Berle? Oh, what a blow for Princess Elizabeth. Thank you. Let us commence with questions from the audience. Let's start with this gentleman in the third row warming his feet in the pockets of the man in front of him. Yes, sir? Mr. Burl, I'd like you to come to my house. I didn't hear what you said, sir. I said, Mr. Burl, I would like you to come to my house Thanksgiving. I'm having friends for dinner.
Well, thank you. Are you having turkey?
No, I'm having friends. I'm a cannibal. Thank you. Let's hope you don't have half-baked friends. Let's go on. All right, this young man with his head caught in the subway door. Young man, what is your name?
My name is Prince Philip.
Did you say Prince Philip?
Yeah, but I'm not the one who just got married.
Oh, I know.
Prince Philip ain't my real name. They only called me that until my older sister got married.
Let's see, what's your real name?
Margaret Rose.
All right, Maggie, you have a question about Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I'm a soda jerk. Why can't I have Thanksgiving Day off like everybody else?
Well,
Why do I have to work while everyone else is having a good time?
That's not...
What's the matter? Ain't I a human being? Don't I enjoy a holiday?
Yeah, but
Oh, sure. Why do you care if I'm working as long as you're stuffing your fat face? Come on,
look.
for the hardest time. You work me like I'm a mule, why don't you? But I put me in danger when you're talking. You don't throw me a bone. Please. I set up your dirty slave driver.
Let's not lose our tempers. Let us go on to the women in the audience. All right, this lady in the aisle shampooing a cocker spaniel. Young lady, what is your name, please?
Hello, Feeney. I'm a homemaker.
I see, and you have a question that has to do with Thanksgiving?
Yeah, how can I stop my husband from eating so much on Thanksgiving? He's sure a disgusting glutton.
Your husband eats a lot?
And fast, too. He can eat 4 courses at the same time.
4 courses at the same time? He doesn't have enough hands for that.
What do you think his feet are for?
Gee, that's terrible.
Last Thanksgiving, I give him a whole turkey just for himself. He sure was tickled.
He was tickled?
Yeah, I forgot to take off the feathers.
Mrs. Feeney.
The way he eats. He never even leaves me a drumstick.
He eats up both drumsticks?
Drumsticks. He eats a drum, too.
Well, naturally.
He'll eat anything. The doctor told him he had a tapeworm.
He has a tapeworm?
Yeah, it comes from eating tape.
Oh, I see what you mean.
He's such a clumsy guy when he carves up Thanksgiving turkey. He always carves out the same piece for me.
What piece is that?
His thumb.
Gee, that's dreadful. Is he a good carver?
Yeah, the turkey keeps sliding away. He has to sit on it.
Mrs. Feeney, your husband sits on the turkey?
Don't worry, he wears a pair of old pants.
Oh, well, that's different.
What do you think he is, a slob or something?
No.
This year I ain't gonna bother with the turkey dinner. I got my husband a big fat pig.
Your husband likes to eat pig?
He ain't gonna eat it, he's gonna eat with it.
Oh, thank you very much, Mrs. Feeney. Thank you. Thank you. And now, as a climax to our Thanksgiving forum, it is an honor to present one of the world's most famous chefs. 320-pound gentleman, the king of the culinary arts, who rules his kitchen with an iron hand. The great Featherfield. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Featherfield.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Thank you for this golden opportunity of talking to the thousands of people who have eaten my food and have happy stomachs all over the United States and parts of Canada.
Mr. Featherfield, I understand that you're the holder of many gold medals for cooking.
How about that?
I don't know.
Mr. Bill, I just won a $1,000 prize for my latest dish.
I see. What is it like?
It's heavy meatballs flanked by pork sausages, garnished with salami ends, all resting in a steaming nest of chili.
Mm-hmm.
I call it the Featherfield Atomic Bomb.
Well, who gave you a $1,000 prize for inventing that?
The makers of Tums.
Wonderful. Mr. Featherfield, have you a special Thanksgiving dish that you can tell us about?
Just one. Turkey a la Featherfield.
Turkey a la Featherfield? How do you make that?
Scrape the meat off the turkey, pull out the neck, shave in the breast, and serve.
Oh, why do you call that turkey a la Featherfield?
Because it looks like me.
I saw that coming.
You should have ducked.
Tell us, Mr. Featherfield, does your wife cook?
Oh, gracious, no, Mr. Bell. She's a professional woman.
Professional woman?
Yeah, professional wrestler.
Your wife sounds pretty big.
Mr. Bell, my wife is everything a man could wish for.
Yeah?
If the man was Sabu.
Well, let's get back to cooking. What is your ideal dish?
Mr. Bell, every night I dream I'm smoking a tongue,
Then I pickle it, then I roast it, and jab a fork into it. Oh, just the thought of doing it makes me happy.
That makes you happy?
Yeah. It's my wife's tongue.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Satterfield. And here's our young singing star, Dick Farney, to sing... I have but one heart, this heart of me. I have but one heart to stand with you. I have but one dream that I can cling to. You are the one dream I pray come true. My darling, until I saw you, I never felt this way. And nobody else before you ever has made me say you are my one love. My life I live for you. I have but one heart to give to you. I have but one What a voice. No wonder they're beginning to call you the new Georgie Jessel. I'm not sure, Dick, but I think you can sue. Mr. Gallup, did I ever tell you what happened at my house last Thanksgiving? No. Would you like to hear about it? No. Oh, okay, you talked me into it. Here's what happened, Mr. Gallup. It was last year, and I'll never forget, it was about a week before Thanksgiving. My wife and I were home.
Milton, for the last time, I'm not having any of those characters from your Friars Club over to Thanksgiving dinner.
But I invited them, darling. Make them feel at home.
All right, we'll have mulligan stew in a tin can.
That's very funny. Look, in this family, you just do the cooking and let me tell the jokes for a living.
Either way, we'll starve.
What's with those jokes? What do you do, spend the morning in my files? Come in.
That's a delivery crate for Milton Berle. Sign here.
Oh, there you are. Put it down here. Thank you very much.
That's a pretty big crate, Milton. Why are all those air holes in it?
See, I don't know. I'll poke this pencil through one of the holes. There. Run for your life. It's a bomb.
Milton, come back. I'll open the side. Look, Milton, a turkey.
A turkey? Isn't that wonderful? What's this note tied around its neck? Dear Milty, congratulations. You won the annual Friars Club turkey raffle.
You won a raffle?
Well, what do you know? It's the first useful thing I ever won in my life.
Milton, you won me.
Let me repeat. It's the first useful thing I ever won in my life. Gosh, darling, look at that turkey. Isn't he cute?
Yes, but get him out of the house. We just got rid of the fleas from Uncle Julius's last visit.
Gee, look at that red nose, the way it hangs down limp over his chin. Gosh, it's almost as though Uncle Julius was still here. Now, I'm going to call him Julius. Hiya, Julius. I better see about having him killed.
Killed? Oh, no, let Julius stay alive for a few days.
Okay. Just think, darling, a turkey in the house. Our little nest has the real spirit of Thanksgiving. What'd you say, dear? Oh, I thought. I'm sorry. Hello, dear.
Hello, Milton.
Well, dear, tomorrow's Thanksgiving, and... Darling, What's that? You're knitting. It's a little garment.
Yes.
Oh, sweetheart, you didn't tell me. Oh, God, this is wonderful. Darling, you better lie down.
Milton, stop getting excited.
But you're knitting.
It's a sweater for Julia.
Yeah. A sweater for a turkey. My toes are hanging out of all my socks, and she knits sweaters for turkeys.
But Julius is different. He has a real personality.
That's probably the part I'll get tomorrow. Isn't he cute over there, sleeping on my camel's hair coat? Oh, brother, wake up, Julius. Julius, wake up. Oh, boy, look at those drumsticks. Wake up, Julius. In a little while, you're going to get taken away by the butcher.
The butcher?
Now, look, darling, for a week you've been stalling me now. A turkey is born just to be eaten at Thanksgiving.
Milton, I've made up my mind. We're not killing Julius.
Well, we can't keep him.
Well, why not? We can raise little turkeys. Let's get Julius a wife.
A wife? This is ridiculous. When the butcher comes, Julius goes with him.
No, he's like one of the family. I've been teaching him tricks. You should see the way he can spread his tail and growl.
So what?
So can you do it?
Listen. Now, yesterday you agreed to send for the butcher.
That was yesterday. This morning something happened that changed the whole picture.
What happened?
Julius laid an egg.
Julius laid an egg?
And you can't kill a mother.
Now, look, darling, I don't want to argue anymore. Come in.
Got the turkey ready, Mr. Burl?
Ah, the butcher.
The butcher?
Okay, butcher, take him away.
Milton Burl, if Julius goes, I'll go too. We're both mothers.
Quiet. Now, butcher, get going with this turkey.
Come on, Julius.
Goodbye, Julius.
Goodbye, Julius. Easy, dear. Julius will be back tomorrow, clean, plucked, and frigassee. Here are the sweet potatoes, dear. The butcher should be bringing the turkey any minute. Oh, boy, will those guys from the Flyers have a treat. That must be the butcher now. Get out the roaster. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Burl.
Well, where's the turkey?
Come in, Julius.
Yes, you've come home.
Butcher, I paid you to kill him.
Mr. Burl, I've been killing turkeys for 20 years. But Julius is different. That personality, those soft and blue eyes, I just couldn't do it. You hear? I couldn't do it.
Now, wait a minute.
Oh, here's your money. Here's your money. Do your own murdering. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it, eh? Well, I'm gonna. People are coming here for turkey, and they're going to eat turkey.
Milton, put down that poker.
Come here, Julius.
Oh, boy, I'm really stuffed. Nothing, only you could think of a Thanksgiving dinner that's different. 5 courses, all beans.
Care for some more beans, Jack?
Don't mind if I do.
Where? More beans, Phil?
Don't mind if I do.
How about you, Julius? More beans? Thank you. I'll be back in just a moment. In the meantime...
Remember this. You're twice as sure of twice the pleasure when you smoke Philip Morris. And here's why. First, you enjoy the pleasure of smoking the world's finest premium tobaccos, mellow and mild and superbly blended. And second, you enjoy the extra pleasure of smoking the one, the only leading cigarette recognized by eminent nose and throat specialists as definitely less irritating. Yes, you're twice as sure of twice the pleasure when you smoke Philip Morris. So next time you call for cigarettes, call for Philip Morris. Made in America by Americans to please American taste.
Very, very well said. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That about winds up the mad tapering for tonight. And on behalf of my sponsor, Philip Morris, and the rest of our cast, may I wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving. And this Thursday, as you're having your big Thanksgiving dinner, think of the one who made it all possible. That's the one. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Thousands of store windows and counters all over America.
America. Look for me. I'll be waiting for you. Come in and...
Yes, if every smoker knew what Philip Morris smokers know, they'd all change to Philip Morris, America's finest cigarette. And now, goodbye, Johnny. See you next Tuesday, same time, same station, when Philip Morris will again present the Milton Berle Show. Until then...
Hello, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's it, 5. Pipe smokers, try Revelation pipe tobacco, a smooth blend of 5 tobaccos. Yes, relax, take 5, take Revelation, a fine pipe tobacco. The Milton Berle Show is written by Matt Hyken and Alan Rubin.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Snooks, be quiet.
Why?
The program is going on the air in a second.
How do you know?
Because Don Wilson is standing there ready to announce it.
I want to announce it.
You can't.
I want to announce it.
Please, Snooks, the signal's coming.
If you don't let me announce it,
what?
I'll hold my breath till my face turns blue.
Oh, Don.
All right, Daddy, all right. Let her announce it.
Thanks. Go ahead, you little dictator.
Ready?
Shoot, there's the signal.
It's Maxwell House coffee time. Ain't I good?
And tonight, the first thing on our menu is Maxwell House coffee. Yes, this is coffee time. Time to sit back, relax, and enjoy with us a steaming, fragrant cup of the coffee that's good to the last drop. Well, now we're ready for another lightning session of entertainment with our Maxwell House stars, Mary Martin, Meredith Wilson, Hanley Stafford, and Fanny Bryce as Baby Snooks. And as a special Thanksgiving package for all of you, our super-duper added attraction, your favorite comedian and my Sunday night boss, Jack Benny. All these wonderful personalities in addition to your regular host and smooth-singing master of the festivities, that engaging young Merry Andrew, Dick Powell.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, since we have so much show to cram into these 30 short minutes, this young Merry Andrew is going to engage himself in a song, fresh from the pen of Maestro Meredith Wilson, and bearing the unsentimental title, Rockabye Your Baby with a Long Underwear Tune. I assume no responsibility for the music and lyrics. My job is to keep it on key and make it come out even with the orchestration. Diffie, if you please. Rockabye your baby with a sweet classical tune. When Papa Haydn takes you riding, you go gliding to the moon, to a Brahms sonata or string quartet. You'll be singing a sweetheart duet. So rockabye your baby with a sweet old, dear old classical tune. But the kids' vocabulary nowadays, oh, it would really curl your hair. Everything from Bach to Offenbach, they call long underwear. So rockabye your baby with a long underwear tune. When Papa Haydn takes you riding, you go gliding to the moon. Johannes Brahms, sonatas and string quartets.
make you harder for sweetheart you bet. So rock-a-bye your baby with a long hair, long underwear too. Johannes drums, sonatas, and string quartets make you harder for sweetheart you bet. So rock-a-bye your baby with a long hair, long underwear too.
Thank you, and now here's Don Wilson, who tells me his Thanksgiving dinner tasted just a little bit better this year than ever before. What happened, Don? Did you eat both drumsticks?
Come to think of it, Dick, I believe I did. But the real reason Thanksgiving dinner tasted extra good this year was because...
Oh, I get it. You had a double portion of pumpkin pie smothered in whipped cream.
That's right, Dick, I did. But what I'm trying to say is just this. I especially enjoyed Thanksgiving dinner this year because it was topped off with a cup of the richest, most superbly delicious coffee I ever tasted.
But surely, Don, this isn't the first Thanksgiving you've enjoyed Maxwell House coffee.
No, indeed. But never before in all its 50-year history has Maxwell House coffee been so rich, so full-bodied, so downright delicious as it is today. You see, friends, the new Maxwell House blend is extra rich in Highland Grow and extra flavor coffees. Coffees so rare in fragrance, so vigorous in flavor, they're unlike any other coffees in the world. Naturally, these coffees have always been limited in their availability. But now we are able to obtain the great quantities we need. That's why today, every pound of Maxwell House has a richer body, a more delicious flavor than any coffees you may have ever known before. And yet, with all this extra goodness, right now Maxwell House is selling at the lowest prices in history. So this weekend, get acquainted with the new Maxwell House coffee. Join the thousands who have already pronounced it coffee at its best.
Well done, Don. And now, ladies and gentlemen, going ahead.
Dick, hello.
How are you? Hello.
Why, Jack Benny. Well, am I on time? Why, Jack, of all people, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Well, this is certainly a surprise. Meredith, look, here's Jack Benny.
Jack Benny, see, this is a surprise.
Now, wait a minute.
Well, you're the last guy in the world we thought...
Wait a minute. Look, fellas, last week on this program, you announced that Jack Benny would be your guest here tonight. I announced it on my own show, and not 2 minutes ago, Don Wilson started off the program by introducing the cast and Jack Benny. Now, who'd you expect up here tonight? Jeannie with the light brown hair? Or Fred Allen's eagle or something? It certainly is a surprise.
Well, frankly, I did hear Don Wilson announce Jack Benny, but I didn't associate it with you.
Oh, you didn't?
No, we didn't know you were the Jack Benny he was talking about.
Oh. Well, of course. Imagine me thinking there was only one Jack Benny. Why, that name is as common as Stanislaus Groznius. The phone book is full of them.
Now, wait a minute, Jack. You don't have to get sarcastic about it.
I'm not sarcastic, Dick. Oh, well, let's forget it. I'm here. You knew I was coming, and we're not fooling anybody.
Okay. I guess we were bordering on the puerile and banal.
It's a very good line, Dick. Do you mind if I use it on my program last week? And we pronounced it banal, if you don't mind. They didn't know me, but they knew my material. Huh?
Say, Dick.
What?
You know, he has got blue eyes.
Oh, there they go again. You think I was the only guy in the world with big blue eyes. Oh, hello, Don.
Jack, how are you? Well, this is indeed a surprise.
Oh, fine. Some enthusiasm after a honeymoon. You know, Don, I just went through all of that with Dick Powell. That was our opening routine. He didn't know which Jack Benny to expect tonight.
Oh, I see. Well, Jack, I'm sure that Dick didn't mean to imply that your name isn't important. I think he was just preoccupied.
You don't have to defend him, Don. After all, when you get right down to things, not everybody's name is Jack Benny.
Not even yours.
Now cut that out! You know very well, Don, my name has been Jack Benny ever since I've been in show business.
Well, what was it before that?
All right, listen, Don. I could use my right name, but how would it sound if I said, "Jello again, this is Radcliffe Montague talking"? Who would believe it?
Nobody in Waukegan.
All right, Don, just for that last remark, when you hang your stocking up this Christmas, don't expect it to be too bulky, unless your leg is in it. If you get what I mean, huh?
Why, Jack Benny, don't tell me you're not going to give Don a Christmas present this year just because of an innocent little remark like that.
Well?
Why, Jack, that doesn't sound like you.
It doesn't? Well, Dick, you know I've been kidded a lot about being thrifty and not over-generous, but you can believe me, it's nothing but malicious slander.
Oh, it is, eh?
Yeah, you know how those things are, Dick. Once a story spreads that's a fella's tight, it's very difficult to live it down.
Especially when you live up to it.
Yes. Now, for instance... Hey, wait a minute! If I'm going to be called cheap, I can stay on my own show where I can lie my way out of it. In the first place, I came up here just to see Mary Martin.
You did? What about, Jack?
About the premiere of our picture. I want her to help me get it set for Waukegan.
Say, that's the picture you and Mary made with Fred Allen, isn't it?
No, that's the picture we made in spite of Allen. Boy, what a ham he is. The way he tries to steal every scene. Oh.
Well, Jack, I worked in the picture with Fred Allen once, and he never tried to steal anything from me.
He didn't, eh?
No. In fact, he was very considerate. Whenever I did a comedy bit, Fred would turn his back to the camera.
Well, he did the same thing with me, only he didn't have his pants on. He and his creton shorts. You know, Dick, he wants the premiere of our picture held in Old Orchard, Maine.
Say, Jack, I've got an idea.
What is it, Meredith?
Why don't you hold the premiere in Mason City?
Mason City, why?
Well, that's my hometown.
Why should we have it in your hometown? You weren't even in the picture.
Well, that's it. I've got nothing to lose.
Quiet. Say, Don, where's Mary Martin?
Oh, she should be here any minute now, Jack. Meanwhile, sit down, Jack, and have a cup of steaming hot Maxwell House coffee with your Jell-O.
Boy, what a plug. Don, you're about as subtle as Olson and Johnson. And remind me to change that to Abbott and Costello for the second show, will you? So Mary ought to be here soon, eh?
Yes, Jack. Sit down while Meredith Wilson plays a number. You might as well listen to a good orchestra for a change.
Yeah, you said it. What are you going to play, Meredith?
Brown Eyes, Why Are You Blue?
Oh, stop with that. Now, the next one on this show who says I've got lovely blue eyes will get a stare out of them for the next 10 minutes.
Hey, Jack, here's Mary Martin.
Mary, here's Jack.
Why, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack. How are you, honey?
I'm fine. Gee, you look swell, Mary. No kidding. You're a sight for blue eyes. I mean, sore eyes, huh? Yes, sir.
Well, Jack, I'm certainly surprised to see you here.
You are?
Yes. Isn't this dialogue right off the cob?
Yes, but Phil Harris is listening in, and he'll think it's dynamite. Now, look, Mary, I came here to ask a favor of you. I want you to help me out on a little matter about our pictures.
I'll be glad to, Jack. What is it?
Well, you know, I want the premiere of the picture held in Waukegan, and Fred Allen wants it held in his hometown, Old Orchard.
Where's that?
It's up in Maine.
Oh, I know where Old Orchard is. Where's Waukegan?
Listen, Mary, Waukegan was Waukegan when Old Orchard was just a couple of stumps, and Allen was one of them. But, Mary, truthfully, don't you think that Old Orchard is the wrong place to hold the premiere of a picture as important as ours?
I agree with you there, Jack, 100%.
Now, you're going to stick by me on this. We will definitely not have it in Old Orchard.
Yes.
And we'll have it in Waukegan, Illinois.
No.
What?
I think it should be in my hometown, Weatherford, Texas.
Yikes! Mary, be reasonable. What's the population of Weatherford?
Oh, about 18,000 head.
Head? Mary, I'm talking about people, not cattle. How many people have you got in Weatherford?
I don't know. We brand everybody.
You brand everybody?
Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, but my body belongs to B-bar 8.
Well, listen, Mary, let's get this settled once and for all. I'm not going to Old Orchard, Maine, and I'm not going to Weatherford, Texas.
But, Jack, you might be making a mistake. Those cowpunchers are wonderful people. If they like you, they'll give you the shirts off their backs.
Dick, shirts I've got. Whole drawer's full of them. What do I need with shirts?
But, Jack...
But Jack, nothing. I'm going to call the studio, and this time I'm going to lay down the law. I'm going to get tough. It's either Waukegan or they're going to lose me.
Oh, Jack,
What?
before you do that, I'd like to talk to you a minute.
All right, what is it?
Well, Jack, I don't want to hurt you and what I'm going to say, but I want you to take this in the spirit in which it's given.
Mary, what are you talking about?
Well, I overheard a conversation today at Paramount between Mr. LeBaron and Mr. Freeman, and they...
Yes?
Well, Jack, you've simply got to face facts. I know you were a big star once.
What?
Well, 2 years ago you were on top. But you can't stay there forever. You had to start slipping sometime. Everybody does.
Everybody?
Oh, yes, Jack, even the big ones. Well, you know how it is in show business. The public is fickle. Yesterday you were a star, and today...
Oh.
Don't
you
see, Jack, you can't get tough now. Why don't you be satisfied to go along and make the best of things?
Well, maybe you're right, Mary. Maybe I shouldn't call them up. The public is fickle, and every nickel counts. Say, and then... What's the difference if the premiere is held in Old Orchard, Maine, or Waukegan, or Weatherford, Texas? Say, you know, say if those cowpunchers like me, maybe they'll give me the shirts off their backs. You know, I can always use a few more shirts. After all, shirts ain't hay.
What do you say, Jack?
Well, Mary, I'm sure you're right, and I certainly appreciate your cooperation. And you tell Mr. LeBaron and Mr. Freeman, you get to see them. Tell them I'm going home now and pack. And any place they want the premiere is okay with me. So long, Mary.
Goodbye, Jack. Goodbye.
Goodbye. See, show business is funny. One day you're up, and the next day I'm down. One day you're working for big money, and the next day you're working for shirts. If they like you. Oh, well, I still got my blue eyes.
Well, that was very diplomatic, Mary. Are you ready for a song now?
Ready and willing.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the prolific pen of Meredith Willson comes another gem. In collaboration with Charles Chaplin, he has written for the great dictator an appealing song, Falling Star. Mary Martin sings it for the first time.
Falling star, you heavenly messenger from above, find me the one who loves would follow your welcome beam into a land of dreams, my star. I find this earth so sad and dreary without some love and for help I turn to above. Oh, falling star, while searching for someone who's lonely too, I'll ride alone with you. I turn to you above the falling star while searching for someone who's lonely too. I'll ride along with you. Falling star.
Thank you, Mary, thank you. That was really beautiful. And now here's Don Wilson again with a few words of wisdom.
Friends, if you want a full money's worth of flavor and goodness when you buy coffee, be sure to notice how it's packed before you buy it. And remember, whether it's ground or in the whole bean, the coffee at your grocer's in ordinary packages is losing its fresh flavor and goodness because it's imperfectly protected from air. Yes, air steals away coffee flavor. In fact, ground coffee packed in ordinary containers where air can easily reach it loses as much as 45%, nearly half its precious flavor, in only 9 days. But with Maxwell House, well, we think too much of the extra flavor coffees in this greatly enriched blend to let one bit of their fragrant goodness escape. That's why we take Maxwell House, still fresh and fragrant from the roasting ovens, and pack it in the familiar blue can. All air is first removed. Then the can is sealed under vacuum. No air can get in, so no flavor can get out. So next time you buy coffee, ask for Maxwell House. It's selling right now at the lowest prices in history. What's more, it's coffee not just days fresh, but roaster fresh. And no coffee can be fresher than that.
And now, with the magic touch of radio, we transport you all to the home of baby Snooks.
Well, Snooks, it's bedtime.
I'm sleepy, Daddy.
Just the same, you've got to go to bed.
Why?
Because everybody has to sleep. It's impossible to burn the candle at both ends.
Which candle?
No candle, it's just an allegorical expression.
Let's burn it, Daddy.
Snooks, there's nothing to burn.
Why?
When you hear of a person burning the candle at both ends, he hasn't really got a candle and he's not burning either end.
Is he burning in the middle?
No, it's just a symbolic phrase. Now, come on. You've had a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner. You've played with your toys. Now it's time to go to sleep.
I want some more turkey.
More turkey?
Yeah, from both ends.
Now, look here, Snooks. If you eat another mouthful of turkey, you'll burst.
Will I?
Certainly. You ate enough to feed an army. One more piece and you'd positively explode.
Well, give me a piece and hide behind the door.
No more turkey.
I want some turkey.
It'll poison you.
I want some poison.
Now, don't try to bribe me. Come on, get your things on.
I don't want it.
Oh, please. Here's the wishbone. You can have this.
There's no turkey on it.
Well, you can make a wish with it. You take one end and I'll take the other. And whoever gets the largest piece gets a wish. Now, come on. Pull.
All right. I got it, Daddy.
Fine. Now you can have whatever you wish for.
Can I?
Yes. What did you wish for?
More turkey.
All right, you little glutton. I'll give you some more turkey.
Will you give me some white meat?
Yes, I'll give you some white meat.
I don't like white meat.
All right, then, I'll give you dark meat.
No, I want dark meat.
Well, for heaven's sake, what do you want?
Cranberry sauce.
Now, that's enough, Snooks. I'm not going to let you drive me crazy tonight.
Why?
Because this is one day of the year I don't want to have to spank you. It's Thanksgiving, and we should all be joyful.
When's Christmas?
After Thanksgiving.
I want Christmas to come first.
Well, you can't change the holidays around.
What holiday?
People make holidays to celebrate big events. George Washington's birthday's a holiday. Lincoln's birthday's a holiday.
How did they get born on holidays?
They didn't get born on holidays.
You said they did.
No. They were born on ordinary days, but they became so famous that people celebrate their birthdays as holidays.
Oh.
Take George Washington, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why do people celebrate his birthday and not mine?
Because he never told a lie.
No, because he was a famous president, and I'm just a nonentity. I'm nothing at all. Just another drab, colorless human piece of flotsam.
I think you're wonderful, Daddy.
Thanks. Oh, well. At any rate, people make these holidays and we all celebrate. And it gives little girls like you a chance to stay home from school. Is that clear?
It's clear. Oh. Daddy.
What?
I ain't going to school tomorrow.
Why not?
Because I just made a holiday.
You made a holiday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are you going to celebrate?
My pussycat's birthday.
Oh, that's ridiculous. A national holiday is only for a great event. What did your pussycat do that calls for a holiday?
She had 6 kittens.
Well, there's nothing remarkable about that.
Could you do it?
Now, listen, Snooks. I'm trying to explain to you that a national holiday must be some great occasion, like Thanksgiving Day.
What?
Well, if you get undressed and get into bed, I'll tell you the whole story.
All right.
Well, to begin with, some states celebrate Thanksgiving a week earlier than others.
Why?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the president.
Call him up, Daddy.
No, not now. Thanksgiving used to be the last Thursday in November. That's the day when the Pilgrims landed in America.
They landed last Thursday?
Yes.
I want to see them.
Oh, you can't see them.
Why?
Because they're all dead. They started out for America over 300 years ago.
And they just got here last Thursday?
No, they didn't get here last Thursday. They got here in 1760. It was over 300 years ago that they arrived.
Who did?
The Pilgrims. So now we celebrate their arrival by killing a turkey. And everybody's supposed to be thankful.
The turkey, too?
Turkeys don't know about Thanksgiving. We use the turkey as a symbol because that's the first food the Pilgrims found.
Who's the Pilgrims?
The people who first came here. They landed on Plymouth Rock.
The turkey?
No, the Pilgrims. On Plymouth Rock.
Who's he?
Who's he?
Yeah.
Plymouth Rock. The rock they landed on.
Who did the rock land on?
The rock didn't land on anybody. They landed on the rock.
Who landed?
The Pilgrims.
Why?
Because they'd been traveling on the ocean for over 6 weeks. And they were...
Who traveled?
The Pilgrims! That's why they were happy when they landed at Plymouth Rock. That's over 300 years ago. And the name of the boat was the Mayflower.
Were you with them, Daddy?
Oh, of course not. Do I look that old?
I don't know.
Well, I wasn't with them. But I'm proud to say my forefathers were.
Did you have forefathers?
Why, certainly everybody has forefathers.
Me too?
Yes.
Where's the other 3?
Oh, don't start that. I'm talking about my ancestors, my forebears.
Your ancestors had 4 bears?
Sure.
How many bears did your uncle have?
My uncle didn't have any bears. Nobody had any bears. My ancestors were my forebears. Understand?
Understand.
Well, what do I mean?
Your aunt had 4 sisters, and they were all bears.
That's right. Now go to sleep.
No, finish your story.
Not if you're going to keep interrupting me. Will you be quiet?
Uh-huh.
All right. After the Pilgrims landed on the rock, they went and found a clearing in the woods. They built cabins, but pretty soon all their food supplies gave out. They were about to starve when one of the Pilgrims rushed in with a thing we all eat now for Thanksgiving. Do you know what that was?
Uh-huh. The rock.
Snooks. Could it be possible you don't know where Plymouth Rock is? Could that be?
Could.
Well, I guess that makes you the only... That's really a distinction. You're incredible. Why, Plymouth Rock is in... Don't they teach you anything in that broken-down school?
Well, where is the Plymouth Rock then?
It's in Maine or Denver or one of those eastern states. I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now say your prayers and go to sleep.
All right, Daddy. Dear Angel, I want to thank you for my wonderful daddy and my mommy and my little brother, and for all the turkeys here. And I hope all the poor little children get plenty of Thanksgiving dinner like me. And please, dear Angel, make Plymouth Rock reunite at home.
Why, Snooks,
What kind of a strange request is that?
Well, yesterday we had to write a composition about Thanksgiving.
Yes?
And that's what I put on my paper.
Good night.
Good night, Daddy.
The sum of which just about ties off another section. So this is Dick Powell once again saying good night to the gang, and thanks for listening.
For another half hour of fun, just keep your dial set right where they are. Until next Thursday, then, this is John Wilson saying good night and good luck for the makers of Maxwell House, the coffee that's good to the last drop.
This is the National Broadcasting Company.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Hello, Rexall Drug Program. Gary Moore speaking.
Hello, Gary. This is Jimmy.
Jimmy Durante, where are you?
I'm trying to get to the studio on time. I passed 3 red lights, went the wrong way up a one-way street, drove over the sidewalk and to the south 50 miles an hour down Sunset Boulevard.
But, Jimmy, they can put you in jail for that.
Where do you think I'm calling from?
Yes, from Hollywood, it's the nose and the haircut. Jimmy Durante and Gary Moore, with Suzanne Ellers, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, and yours truly, Howard Petrie. Brought to you by 10,000 Rexall drugstores, who carry the complete line of top-quality Rexall drug products. Ladies and gentlemen, next Thursday is Thanksgiving, a holiday started by the Pilgrims who gave thanks when they landed on Plymouth Rock. But now we bring you a young man who would give thanks if he could just land in old Plymouth. And here he is, Gary Moore.
Thank you very much, my friends, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I wish you a very happy November the 22nd. And before we do anything else tonight, we're going to hold the grand drawing for our annual turkey raffle. Now, of course, we all understand that if the person with the winning number is not in the audience tonight, the turkey automatically becomes mine. Now, I draw the number out of the hat, and it is number 64709.
64709! I got it! 64709!
Well, better luck next year. Now, getting on with the program here, excuse me. Hello?
Hey, Mr. Moore, it is true, isn't it, that on Thanksgiving Day people eat turkeys?
Why, of course.
I told you you had it wrong, you crazy turkey. Let go of my leg.
You know, I'm going to have that telephone taken out of here. Last night I got a call at 3 o'clock in the morning, and a voice said, "Pardon me, what radio program are you listening to?" I said, "Radio program? I'm sound asleep." She said, "Oh, the Durante Moore Show, eh?" Personally, I considered that very, very rude. I did.
Well, Gary, it seems to me that nobody is as courteous nowadays as they used to be.
What? Why, Suzanne Ellers. Bless your little Emily Post. And I agree with you, too, Suzanne. You know, in the old days, if a gentleman was walking along with a lady and they came to a mud puddle, right away he'd take off the coat and spread it over the puddle. And after the lady walked across, she'd say,
"Thank you, Herman, but next time let's use your coat."
It was a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Gary, why don't you give the folks a few pointers on etiquette?
Well, let's take what we were just talking about here, walking on the sidewalk. Now, when walking to a football game, the gentleman always walks 2.5 paces behind his mother-in-law.
Well, why 2.5 paces?
In football, that's the regulation distance for a place kick. And you know, Suzanne, ladies can be pretty rude sometimes, too, especially when they keep people waiting on streetcars while they rummage through their purses.
Well, don't look at me, Gary. My purse is never crowded.
It isn't, eh? Let me peek into your purse here for a minute. Now, a bag of marbles, an electric toaster, your boyfriend's picture, your boyfriend. And my goodness, Suzanne, what is this? Gee whiz, you know, those helicopters can take off from any place, can't they? I know, maybe etiquette isn't too necessary anyway. But besides, here's the guy who proves my point, Jimmy Durante.
You've got to use. My orchestration calls for a cowbell, not a cow. Now for my second number, I'll sing. Mammy, Mammy, the sun shines east, the sun shines west. California's sunshine. The only sunshine in the world guaranteed to shrink a shirt.
Oh, Snaz, you are in fine voice tonight.
Thank you, Junior. And that was only on one tonsil, which I inherited from my pater.
Your pater?
Yeah, you know, my brother.
Oh, your brother.
Who did you think he was, my old man? But that is neither sand, burr, nor dew. For your edification, Junior, I just got back from Washington where I spent 2 days in secret session with the president.
Ooh, a crisis?
Yes, a critical crisis. We called in the Secretary of the Navy, the Secretary of War, the Army engineers, and the greatest scientific minds in the country, but it was no use. Even they couldn't figure out how to stop the leak in my swimming pool. Why, they poured more concrete in my pool than they got in Boulder Dam.
James, you mean Boulder Dam?
Watch your language, Mr. Moore. After all, this program is being shortwaved to pickets.
Is that why you went down to Washington to discuss your swimming pool?
Not exactly. Mr. Truman had a few problems of his own.
Oh.
When I arrived, he was putting an oil burner in the basement, a wood burner in the kitchen, an electric heater in the bedroom, and a gas heater in the bathroom.
Well, what's the idea of all that?
Harriet's going to be warm this winter no matter what John L. Lewis does. I wasn't in Washington over 5 minutes when the president created a new cabinet post for me. He appointed me minister without portfolio.
Minister without portfolio?
Yeah, how do you like that? A big country like this and they can't even afford to buy me a briefcase. An important man like me has to carry his lunch in his back pocket.
Well, Snaz, I suppose as minister without portfolio, you have to handle some of the government's crucial problems.
That's right. For instance, last week the president of the Fruit Growers Association complained to me that the climate of California is no good for growing bananas.
He said that the climate of California is no good for growing bananas?
Yeah. How could the guy look me in the face and say that? What does he think this is holding up my glasses? A kumquat?
Wait a minute, I'll take it, Jim. Hello. Yeah, he's here. Who is it, please? Oh, my goodness. Just a moment, Your Worship. Jimmy, the Duke of Windsor wishes to speak to you.
Does it sound like a touch? Never mind if it is. He's good for it. Give me the phone. Hello, Duke. I got everything arranged for your trip to Hollywood with the Duchess. What? Living quarters? Don't worry about it. I got you the bridal suite. That's right, at the Pismo Beach Motel. Is it a good place? Are you kidding? You get a towel each. Now tell me your plans. What do you and the Duchess want to do when you get here? What? Oh, no. We have too many of those husband and wife programs already. What's that? Pip, pip, cheerio? Thank you, and a Yorkshire pudding to you, too.
Jimmy, you're arranging a Hollywood trip for the Duke and Duchess of Windsor?
A logical choice, after all, Junior. On my last trip to England, you know, the continent.
Yes.
I mingled with all kinds of royalty. Counts and their countesses, dukes and their duchesses, and marquises and their moccasins.
No, Jim, not moccasins.
Well, what is the right word?
Marchioness. You see, le consort d'un marquis est une marchioness. C'est la forme subjonctive past participe de la verbe plus perfect et dans tous les mots c'est statistique et bien connu.
How do you like that? Ask a guy a question and he joins the Foreign Legion. Tell me, Gary, where do you pick up these fascinating bits of useless trivia?
In the Encyclopedia Britannica, Jimmy. It's a wonderful book. Haven't you ever read it?
No. I'm waiting for them to make a picture out of it. But, Junior, I got a million of them. But, Junior, where do you see the banquet I'm planning for the Duke and Duchess? 15 pheasants, 25 venisons, 30 grouse, 50 grouse, and a gross of grease. Grease is the feminine of Dallas. Following that, a mongoose on the half shell, and as my piece de resistance, curry of Tootsie Roll. But there's one thing that worries me about the banquet, Junior. What do you do with the olive pits? Do you swallow them or do you hold them in your mouth until you get home?
Jim, there's only one thing to do with olive pits. You take them in your hand, and when no one is looking, you quietly sneak them into the cuff of your trousers.
But suppose it's a formal affair and I'm wearing knickers. Wait a minute, Junior, I've got it. I know what I'll do. I'll hold the olive pits in my right hand, and when the Duke shakes hands with me to say good night,
yes,
I let go.
Oh, wait a minute, Jim. Are you sure you're the right man for this job?
Don't worry about me, Junior. Why, I've mingled with nobility all my life. The last time I was in England, the king wanted to make me Knight of the Garter, and the queen wanted to make me Knight of the Bath. Naturally, I refused.
Jimmy, the king wanted to make you Knight of the Garter, and the queen wanted to make you Knight of the Bath, and you refused?
Yeah. I didn't mind putting on his garter, but a guy's got to draw the line somewhere. Now you know that you can't go wrong. Why you so powerful, big song. You can always be sure it's Durante and more when you hear a tremendous ovation. And that applause means it's time to pause for Rexall identification.
Rexall is the name of a complete line of top-quality drug products. Yes, Rexall is the name of a complete line of fine drug products sold exclusively in your Rexall drugstores. There is a Rexall drug product for every health need. For aspirin, take Rexall. For vitamins, take Rexall. For a mouthwash, take Rexall. Learn to insist upon Rexall for reliability. The name Rexall is your constant guarantee of safe, sure, pure drug products. The finest that science and pharmaceutical skill can produce. So, remember,
to be safe, to be sure that the product is pure when you're buying a drug preparation. Take the clerk to task, step right up and ask for Rexall identification.
Good health to all from Rexall.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Howard Petrie, a man whom Don't laugh, don't laugh. Remember, I'm reading from a carbon copy. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Howard Petrie, a man of whom we're very proud because of his famous uncle. We all know that Thomas Edison invented the electric light, but Mr. Petrie's uncle is the one who showed him how to turn it off.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. Can you prove that?
I sure can. Here's a picture of him right in front of the town tavern. And he's out like a light.
Well, I've never been one to look down my nose at other people's inventions, Jim, but I should just like to call attention to one of my own ancestors, Casanova Moore, a man who invented a device that has since become the very backbone of our social civilization. It was my great-great-great-great-grandfather who first invented the kiss. No sense in your hanging around, madam. My uncle's been dead 200 years.
So what? No man is perfect.
So your uncle invented a kiss, huh, Junior?
Yes, he did.
Well, tell us about it. Meanwhile, I shall bury my head in the razor's edge and listen with a sharp mind.
Well, friends, my uncle, Casanova Moore, was born in England in the year 1525. And up till that time, the kiss had never been thought of. In order to show their love in those days, couples engaged in a form of affection called dipple-dipling. Now, to dipple-dipe, a man put his arm around his girl, gently stroked her lovely hair, looked tenderly into her eyes, and slapped her in the face with a wet herring. Yes, every night my uncle's sweetheart would raise her little face to his and say,
"Oh, Casanova, before you leave me, give me just one more dipple-dipe."
"Very well, my dearest."
"Oh, Casanova, the boneless kind."
But somehow, the more Casanova dipple-diped, the less it seemed like the fulfillment of love's young dream. So then and there, he determined to invent some new kind of embrace. And his first invention he called schmoose-crofting. Now, in schmoose-crofting, the boy would cover his girl's face with brushless shaving cream and blow bits of confetti at her. But this was no good. Every evening she would end up with her face looking like the floor of the Brown Derby on New Year's Eve. Then he tried another idea, and this he called twack-noodling. Now, twack-noodling sounds like fun, doesn't it? Twack-noodling was really the most daring idea of them all. The The boy and girl would sit on the Davenport, turn out the lights, and then whisper into each other's ears, Artie Shaw. But the world wasn't ready for Uncle Casanova's inventions, so to keep body and soul together, he took a temporary job in a local factory as a pickle taster. And after tasting pickles for 3 years, one day he turned to the girl at the next bench and said, Come here a minute, Mabel.
What is it, Casanova?
There's only one pickle left, and I want to get home to my experiments. Let's taste this last one together.
All right. You start at one end, and I'll start at the other.
Little did Casanova suspect that his lifelong ambition was about to be realized. Faster and faster they ate towards the center of the pickle. Their lips came closer and closer until finally Casanova bit past his half and... Climbing down from the chandelier, Casanova knew that this was what he'd been looking for. He had invented the kiss. So bounding out of the pickle factory, he dashed down the street, kissing every girl he met up with.
Yeah, are you sure you got the right party?
Realizing that he was wasting his time with the little man, he decided to take his idea to the top. So he called on the King of England, Henry VIII. Confronting him, he said, Your Majesty, you don't look well. What's the trouble?
I'm feeling mighty low.
Here was Casanova's chance. Quickly, he said, Your Majesty, I have invented a thing called the kiss. Try it once on Anne Boleyn and see what it does to you. So Henry grabbed Anne Boleyn, puckered up, and... Well, King Henry, how do you feel now?
Give me 5 minutes more. Only 5 minutes more.
And so with King Henry VIII's endorsement, the kiss took its rightful place in the English way of living. And I am proud to say that I have inherited my uncle's proficiency in the art. But just the other day, as I was walking down the street, a man looked at me, and I distinctly heard him say, Boy, get a load of that kisser.
Thank you, Mr. Moore, for that erudite discussion of osculation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, going from the carbon copy to the one in bold type, our charming chanteuse, Suzanne Ellis, a little lady with pipes of solid gold. I should know. I got a plumber's card. How are you, Susie?
Hiya, Jimmy. And thank you for that lovely introduction. But when it comes to singing, I bow to the master. How do you get those mellow tones in your voice?
That's a Durante secret, Susie, but I'll let you in on it. Every morning I swab my throat with a concoction consisting of 2 parts cayenne pepper, a jigger of creosote, a dash of Kemptune, and a pound and a half of grated garlic.
And does that make you sing?
After that, you gotta sing. If you don't open your mouth, you suffocate. Sing, Susie, sing.
For you, for me, forevermore, it's bound to be forevermore. It's plain to see we found by finding each other the love we waited for. I'm yours, you're mine, and in our hearts the happy ending starts. What a lovely world this world will be, with a world of love in
with a world of love in store for you, for me,
Yes, it's good health to all from Rexall. Listen.
For goodness sake, when you've a tummy ache, deep in your solar plexus, you really should find out how good this Rexall Bismarex is. Bismarex, Rexall Bismarex.
That's right, friends. An acid stomach condition by any other name can feel just as uncomfortable. And whether you call it indigestion, dyspepsia, or heartburn, you'll find the prompt relief you need as well as the prolonged relief you want with Rexall Bismarex. Because Rexall Bismarex contains not one, but 4 laboratory-approved alkalizing antacids, 1 fast-acting alkalizer, and 3 slow-acting alkalizers. That's why Rexall Bismarex not only relieves your discomfort promptly, but continues the acid-neutralizing effect for a prolonged period. Just mix 1 or 2 teaspoonfuls in a glass of water and drink. It's a pure peppermint pleasure. Remember, only a Rexall drugstore can sell you
Bismarex, Rexall Bismarex.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, in accordance with time-honored custom, we present our special Thanksgiving opera as performed by that magnificent vocal group, the Durante and Moore G-Clef Coffee Clats and Culture Choir.
In this opera, ladies and gentlemen, I sing for 2 consecutive hours without taking a breath.
Oh, now, wait, how can you sing for 2 hours without taking a breath?
Storage tank in my nose.
Well, in any event, in this Thanksgiving opera, friends, Mr. Durante will appear as Miles Standish, and I shall play the part of John Alden.
Oh, yes. He was the fellow who made all the speeches and ended up with nothing.
That's right, sort of an early-day Democrat.
Yes.
Now, the part of the Republicans here. Now, the part of the lovely Priscilla will be played by our gal, Suzanne Ellers, and the special choral effects, as always, will be sung by our announcer, Mr. Howard Petrie.
Oh, James Melton would just hate me for this.
It's amazing the thing the rain washes down from the mountains.
Quiet, James. Maestro Baggi, overture for the opera.
Our opera tonight deals with one of the greatest love stories ever told. The story of Captain Miles Standish, John Alden, and the lovely Priscilla. It's a peaceful day in the Pilgrim village, but in the hearts of these 3 people, a fateful storm is brewing.
I'm the captain, and my name is Standish. My manners are good, but my face is outlandish. But in spite of my appearance, I'm a mighty big fella.
You can tell he's important by the size of his smeller.
That's me.
That's him.
That's me.
That's him. And I'm John Alden. I'm Standish's pal. I'm the romantic target of every Pilgrim gal. You can tell by my face I'm an early-day Sinatra.
Except for his haircut, and that ain't so hotra.
Tis too.
Tis not.
Tis too.
Tis not.
And I am the heroine. My name is Priscilla. You can tell by my figure I'm a real killer diller. I just passed 21, and that is a fact.
Just past 21?
She must have passed it coming back.
Did you?
Did not.
Hot talk. Hot talk. Hot talk. Hot talk.
Listen, John Alderson, show him a pal. I'll tell you right now, I'm in love with that gal. Her skin is like a peach, John, that you can bet.
Yes, just like a peach. Sort of fuzzy and wet.
Tis not.
It is too.
Tis not.
It is too.
I loves the gal. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm leaving the proposing up to you.
You're leaving it to me. Well, aren't you taking a chance?
You double-cross me, bud. They'll have to take you to the nearest hospital and operate 40 times and remove the lead from your pants.
Oh.
Get her going. Get her going.
Hot talk. Hot talk. Hot talk. Hot talk.
Now there's an intelligent comment.
And so we find John Alden Moore in Priscilla's living room as Miles Standish Durante listens through an open window.
Oh, Priscilla, my pretty little dove. I've come to your cabin for to speak of love. Now, I know that you're bashful and you're shy by heck.
Who's bashful, Bud? Come on, let's neck.
Wait a minute. What are you doing? He's getting hot and I'm standing here stewing.
Oh, speak for yourself, John. Don't be dull.
If he speaks for himself, I'll fracture his skull.
Now, wait.
Come on, John.
Now, wait.
Come on, John.
Oh, Priscilla, my shy little elf. I'm a-speaking of love, yeah, but not for myself. Captain Miles Standish is the man for you.
Captain Standish?
How do you do? Madam, I'm making my plea. I'm getting right down on the bended knee. I've got a soft feeling that's making me mellow.
Oh, get up, Miles. You're kneeling in her jello.
There must be some place he could go to be alone. Now tell us, Priscilla, what's your decision? Would you rather be mine or would you rather be his? I'm as strong as the wizard from the land of Oz.
Yeah, but most of your strength has gone to your schnoz. Has to. On the other hand, Prissy, if you want to be shrewd, you'll marry with me, because I'm a Hollywood dude. I wear perfume just like Hetty or Veronica.
It smells like low tide at Santa Monica. Let's do. I'll bet he has fun just tying his laces.
I'll tell you, boys, I love you like a mother, but I've already given my heart to another.
You're in love with another?
Who can it be?
Don't be silly. She's marrying me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
She's marrying you. Can that be a fact?
Everybody wants to get into the act.
But you're not good looking, and you've got no dough. What did you say that made her love you so?
I said, hot shot. Him and his big fat education.
This is Howard Petrie again with those foremost Rexall reminders for the week. Remember, Rexall Bismarex. Remember, Rexall is a complete line of top-quality drug products for every health need. Remember, Rexall drugs are sold only in a Rexall drugstore. Remember, Rexall for reliability. That familiar oval sign, R-E-X-A-L-L, is the surest sign of top quality in drugs and drugstores.
Touche, Professor Peeping. I'd like to add, I do my shopping at a Rexall store. What I want they got, and furthermore, Hombriago, he prefers them too. We buy Rexall, that's all. How do you do? Now, speak with you when we're out. Wait, when we're... Let me hear that high note, maestro. What a note.
I know the finality, Mr. Durante.
No, the conclusion, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, Jim, I guess that just about wraps up the tinfoil on tonight's little package. Say, would you care to join me at Ciro's now in a little game of fumbling for the check?
No, thanks, Junior. I've met my master. But if it's a little snack you want, come over to my house. Why, it's common gossip that I brew the best coffee in Beverly Hills.
You do, huh?
Oh, yes. I use only the center section of the bean. Let me tell you the secret of coffee making, Junior. You know where the percolator starts to go plop, 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 plop?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you open the top at that point,
yes,
you get it right in the eye.
Good night, Mr. Durante.
Good night, Mr. Moore.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Mrs. Calabash. Good night.
Well, Rexall for tonight, folks. So goodbye now for Suzanne Ellers, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, yours truly, Howard Petrie.
And Jimmy Durante.
And Gary Moore in person.
So until next Friday, same time, same Columbia station, good health to all from Rexall. This program is produced and directed by Phil Cohan. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And this is WCBS, New York. 10 p.m. BULOVA, Bulova Watch Time. America runs on Bulova Time.